G'day everyone and welcome to my new series on SketchUp for schools. This is going to be used in an iSTEM class in particular, but these skills are transferable across KLAs. Now SketchUp for schools is a free program that can be used to do 3D drawing and printing online. When you get into SketchUp for schools, this will be the main canvas, and you can see we've got a little man here for scale, and there are some bits and pieces about SketchUp for schools that I'm going to show you in this video. First things first, we're going to show you the plane or the canvas. We have 3 axes on our plane. It's because we are working in 3 dimensions. We have 3 axes. We have the red axis, a green axis, and a blue axis. And these relate to the X, Y, Z axes in 3-dimensional geometry and graphing and relationships in algebra. In SketchUp for schools, up here will be the name of your file. Once you've started working on your file, you can save your file. If I get rid of the man, it brings up the save icon, and we can now save any changes to our workspace. I recommend highly that you do that at the beginning so that you're not losing the work that you've just put in. And then it will auto-save regularly for you. In here is how you'll access the home page for Google Sketchup for schools. Start a new, open an old project, save as under a different name, import, export, download, etc. In here is an important setting. We want our autosave settings, and in here as well is the language we're using and the default template. We have accessibility options, and we can navigate with different things if we want to use touch screens, etc., etc. Now for the important stuff. This video we're going to focus on the left-hand side. There's a whole bunch of stuff over here on the right that we will look at as we're going, but the most important stuff is over here on the left. This one's just our cursor, our straight cursor to use to select. If we hold the Shift key down while we have the select option going, it brings a plus or minus sign so we can select multiple elements or components of our drawing. We have an eraser, so we can erase components of our drawing. We have the paint bucket, which also comes with an eyedropper so that you can sample different bits and pieces. You can sample colors to use in your model. And you can see that that brings up your materials option over here. Next we have the pencil, which is just a line tool and just draws straight lines. You can also have a tool that lets you draw freehand and gives you a few more options for drawing. Next is our arc tool. So we can have an arc, a 2-point arc, a 3-point arc. If I can get it to work, and the pie. So this will give us quarters, halves, etc. Next is our polygon tool. Now usually it will come up with a rectangle first. You can do rotated rectangles, circles. Now this polygon tends to be a hexagon, but we'll show you how to fix that. And then the 3D text, which will come in handy for one of our projects. Over here is the push-pull tool. So we push-pull. This makes our 2-dimensional drawings 3-dimensionals by pulling it up or pushing it in. And we'll show you how that works. The follow me tool is really handy. if you have some odd things that you need to get around. And very handy for architectural type drawings. And the offset tool, we can do an offset or an inset depending on the nature of your drawing. This next tool is all about making groups. So you can make big groups, different types of groups. These are less useful for what we're going to be doing, but may come in handy down the track. Then we have our move tool, so we can take the entire component or a group of components and move it around our canvas. We can rotate components around the canvas, and we can scale different components. And I'll show you how to do that too. This is our measuring tool. So we have a straight up measuring tape type tool. The tape measure. It's handy if you need things to be specific distances. This is the dimensions tool, so we can actually create isometric drawings of different items with the measurements included. We can add text to that information. We can section different parts of our drawing, measure angles in our drawing, and we can check the axes and move it around. This next one is usually the feet, which is a walk tool, and it just allows you to walk around your model or your drawing without having to move the camera position. This changes the camera position, so if you choose camera position and I choose over here, it moves to that position. Okay. And then the eye, well, it lets you walk around from that one camera position, while as the feet lets you move around the camera position. Okay. Last but not least is this little handy tool here. This is the orbit tool. This lets you move around your model however you wish. Then we have the pan tool, which keeps it in that view but can move it around the screen. And then we have a bunch of zooming tools. Now that's the base tools that you're going to be using in our Google Sketchup for Schools projects. And in the next video, we'll do our first project. And that first project is going to be creating a dice. See you then.